Hey, what is up you guys, welcome back. Finally, I've gotten around to making an update on my CSGO flipping journey. This video is going to cover my progress from the last update, which was at the end of May, till the end of July, so 2 months in total. And let me just give you a quick sneak peek by telling you that this couple of months things have gotten even better than before. I mean, you have seen the thumbnail, right? That is not clickbait, that's actually my profit for the month of July. Okay, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Today I will tell you about the biggest lessons I've learned in this time, the mistakes I've made, tell you about some strategy adjustments that boosted my profit, and finally I will show you my profit as well as the total value of my inventory. I know that this series is not very beginner friendly and I don't explain a lot of things, but that's because I have explained them many times before in previous episodes, so if you are having trouble keeping up and understanding most of what I'm talking about, then I recommend watching the previous videos from this series because I think there you'll find more explanations for simpler things. The biggest mistake that I have made in these 2 months, I would say, is getting banned on buff for 1 week on 2 separate occasions, god damn it, because I failed to deliver items. The first time was because I didn't take my second phone with me when I was going on a short trip, and that second phone is the one with the Steam authenticator, so like I was not able to deliver my sale. The second time I got banned was a little bit different. I listed an item on the Steam marketplace while it was already listed for sale on buff, right? And just as I was going back to buff to remove it from sale, somebody bought it, right? In those 2 or 3 days while it was listed on buff, nobody bought it, but in that minute somebody had to buy it. And since the item was not in my inventory, buff couldn't find it, so therefore I was penalized for not having an item that I'm listing on buff for sale, basically. Well, what happened happened. I'm not gonna sit and dwell on it too much, but I am going to learn from these mistakes and hopefully never repeat that again, because it did have quite a big impact on my profit. At the beginning of July, I purchased the most expensive skin so far, a low float field tested op Medusa for 1,599 euros on Skinport. I usually don't buy high tier skins for the reason that it is a lot harder to sell them, and this one was no exception. You remember that in my previous update I lost 13% on a talent knife black pearl. Well, that wasn't great, but this time it wasn't like that. I managed to sell the Medusa on buff after 4 weeks for a 4% profit cash to buff, which is actually not too bad, considering that I have like 2.5% growth from cash to buff average, and I need a lot of buff balance, right? I'm prioritizing more balance rather than higher percentage. The sale time for the Medusa was delayed by like a week since I was banned for that week, but it could have sold in 3 weeks and that would have been a lot better. The money that came from that sale has been already spent on buying many different high margin skins that I'm going to sell on Skinport after 2 weeks. This method has actually been the winner for me lately, because I've started getting my buff balance better and quicker. Here's how I do that. In the past 2 months, I've started buying a lot more items on peer-to-peer websites, specifically Skinbid and GamerPay, where I have spent 12,000 euros in just these 2 months. Which is more than I have spent on Skinport in the same time frame. The reason why I like P2P websites is because you get the item in your inventory immediately, so you wouldn't have to wait like 7 or 8 days as you do have to wait sometimes on Skinport. So overall you save 1 week on your transaction from cash to buff, which is a lot of time to save, so yeah, that's pretty good. This also enables me to get the buff balance much faster, sell it more often, buy things more often, so therefore it raises my profit overall. If you want, you can check out GamerPay yourself. You can do that using the link in the description, and you also get a 10 euro discount on your first purchase of over 15 euros. I'm gonna make like a review for GamerPay and Skinbid as well, because I haven't actually talked in my videos about these sites, but I am starting to use them a lot, so I think I should start talking about these websites as well. In the past 2 months, I have also started buying skins directly from people and selling skins directly to people. This is actually a very important direction for me to move into because there is much potential, considering that I am a YouTuber after all and I can reach a good amount of people. I was able to sell around 2,000 euros worth of skins directly to people, and I purchased around 500. And whenever I do purchase, I pay people about 93% of the skin's value on buff. Of course, that's gonna depend if the skin is easy to sell and all that, but most of the time skins are easy to sell, so yeah, that applies. If you remember, at the end of June there was a very important event, and let me tell you, because this event was extremely profitable for me. Of course, we're talking about the summer sale here, and at that time I was able to purchase around 1,000 euros worth of different skins on Steam. And then I sold those skins on Skinport after 2 weeks, when the price had recovered from the sale. In this way, I was able to profit around 30% on that money. Of course, that's if we take into account how much cash I paid for that Steam balance in the first place, right? Next time when there is a winter or summer sale, I am definitely gonna try and buy as much as I can during that time, because the profit that I got here was just insane. Now I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my debt. You know, that last video that I made about a secret 1,000 euro investment, well, that was actually my brother's money that was invested. But as I said in the video, I sold that investment for a total of 1,360 euro, and I injected that money into my portfolio so I can flip with it. Basically, my brother invested into my portfolio, and I'm gonna grow that money for him by adding 50% of the profit that it generates. So if my entire portfolio grows by 10% in 1 month, his money is gonna grow by 5%, and I get to keep the other 5%, of course. Now I have accumulated 2,630 euros of debt total. But that's not even that much, because in the next update this number is going to double. So yeah, strap on, because we're going to the moon. Here's what my profit from sales looks like. In the month of June, I profited 1,168 euro, which is a 0% difference compared to the profit the month before that. However, things took a big turn in July when I profited 1,728 euro, which is a 48% profit increase. Of course, that profit was largely influenced by my brother's capital investment, but even without that, the growth was really good. In the last update, the total value of my portfolio was 10,600 euros. At the end of July, however, it reached a value of 13,340 euro. And I know, if you just add up the profit and the loan, the final numbers don't really match up. But that's because I have living expenses now, and this money is paying for that. If you just add up the raw profit, I should have been at almost 15,000 now. But I have spent around 1,500 euros these past 2 months, which is not even that much. Considering that I went to a festival, I bought a new mattress, I finished my motorcycle license, which wasn't cheap at all. So yeah, I think the results are still pretty impressive, because I'm still able to grow quite fast despite the fact that I have expenses now. As you remember, the goal for this series was for me to trade CSGO skins till I can buy a car. And yes, theoretically I could just cash out my entire portfolio and buy the car right now. But then my progress would stop and I would not be able to grow anymore. So I decided to postpone that purchase till next summer, because I really have no use for a car right now, and if I manage to keep this progress as is, I might get to 50k euros by the next summer. So yeah, I think it is worth waiting and not spending my money right now. For now, let's just look at what cars I could theoretically afford with the current value of my CSGO inventory. For example, I could purchase this BMW Coupe from 2014. Of course, it has like 150,000 miles driven already, but it looks kinda nice, it's kinda sporty, so it's a pretty cool car and has the average interior. This option is a tiny bit more practical. It has a sunroof. I mean, it still has 2 doors, but it's a hatchback at least, so you can have more stuff in there. And let's not forget that it's not gonna consume as much on the fuel and repairs. Plus it has a better radio, so that's a plus for me. And then you have this option, Nissan X-Trail for over 200,000 kilometers used. It looks pretty good, but it's gonna take all the money out of my pocket if I ever buy something like this. So I don't really know if this is something for me. I think that's about it from me. I've told you how I started using P2P websites more often, which really was the biggest and most important move I made in this period. I'm gonna try and focus on improving some other parts of my trading activity so that I have a more stable system when skins move from one place to another fluently, because this is actually something important to figure out if you want to maximize your profits. Thank you a lot for watching this video to the end. Please do leave a like, because every like brings at least another 10 people to the video, so you're helping out quite a lot by doing that. Alright, I will see you next time. Bye bye.